Denise Renee, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much, Jess.
Awesome. So, I am excited to talk to you today because I know a lot of people who would like to write a book, me being one of them. It's on the bucket list for so many of us. And it feels like this big, intimidating thing. Yeah, all consuming, got to work up to it. Yes. So I want to talk to you a little bit about breaking some of that down, talking about what we need to figure out, what you're here to be awesome and guide us through, and just kind of how the process goes. So let's start with um, let's start with mindset. I feel like there are so many people that feel like they want to write a book, but they get imposter syndrome. They feel like they are not a writer. They feel like they have so much doubt that they are scared to move forward with it. Um, do you have tips for kind of breaking into making that accessible?
I do. But before I even get into tips, because I don't necessarily want to be like I'm the big bad expert, but writing a book is scary. And it's scary for everyone. And it's even scary for me. And I am someone who, I have no problem sharing my age. I'm 51 and Gen Xer, proud Gen Xer. And this also symbolizes not only Wakanda, but also symbolizes X for the Bronx, which is where I grew up. So yes, this Gen Xer, the Bronx, everything. But,
Love it.
but honestly, I have been writing. I like to joke that I've been writing since I could hold a frame. So I believe I wrote maybe my first short stories when I was like around 8 or 9. And I always loved English, always loved language arts. I was always in honors English in high school. English is one of my majors with a concentration in creative writing. I always thought that I was going to go into advertising, but life went elsewhere. But writing was always a major part of what I did. I did start getting paid for my writing in about 1999. So I've been a professional writer for a very long time. Writing is not an issue for me. But it's something about becoming an author and writing a book, becoming published. It's like that even me, who somebody, where writing is not the issue, it's still big and it's still heavy and there's still a lot of prestige around that. There can be a lot of imposter syndrome around that. There can be there's a whole lot of stuff around that. And I wrote a book 6 years ago and didn't publish it. Did not publish it. Talked myself completely out of it. And now I'm finally publishing it. Now, I will say that even though had I published it then, it could have really benefited me then. But I'm glad that I had I had to kind of work through it because it wound up being the very thing that I was talking about. So my title of my book is called Write Your Book, 10 Mindset Hacks to Move You from Fear to Finished. So when I first wrote it, I wrote it from this perspective of, I had been working with people, helping them with their books since about 2018. I started as a freelance writer, writing resumes for people, and then I moved into general copywriting. And then I was networking with all these people who were writing books. And I supported a lot of books, but I supported a lot of books, and I would look at the covers and I'd be like, Windows 95 call, and they want their clip art back. I'd be like, did you hire an editor for this? So, of course, I'm not going to say anything they've already spent their money, whatever, and they're happy. And, I didn't call out anybody, but I was like, gosh, I could have helped you with this book and it would have been a whole lot better. And I was like, no, they could not have called you for that because you don't tell people that you write books or that you can write books or that you are an editor. So then I was like, well, let's correct that. So I started telling people that I can help you with the book. And so then I realized that I really enjoyed that part of writing. And so I just kind of shift from trying to do just general sales pages and email copy to helping people with their books. So, I've been steadily helping people ghostwriting. I I ghost wrote books. Okay, my clients have books on the market that I wrote, but their name is on it because that's the thing. That's what a ghostwriter does, and that's fine. But when it came to writing my own, it was just like, right? It's just this big fear. So when I wrote the book, I wrote it from the standpoint of I had been talking to a lot of people who said, I want to write a book, but I'm too young to write a book, or I'm too old to write a book. I want to write a book, but I don't feel like an expert. I want to write a book, but a whole bunch of things. And I was like, well, this is really not that serious. Like all you have to do, da, 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 and boom, you have a book. Yeah. Which is true, right? All you have to do is da 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 da. But you kind of have to get over the mindset. You have to get over the fear, and you have to actually do the daggone thing.
Yeah.
And so, while my first draft was very preachy, it was very, from a standpoint of, I'm the big bad writer. I know what I'm talking about. I've been writing for years. Now the rewrites come from a place of humility, and the rewrite comes from a place of I understand exactly what it means to really get into the mindset that you need to get into so that you can overcome your fears and write your book. So, no preachy over here. It is all love and support. But yes, you do have to get over the mindset, and you do have to kind of really talk to yourself and talk yourself out of things. So just like talk yourself out of things, just like I talked myself out of publishing my book 6 years ago, I had to turn around and talk myself into it. And those are the types of tips and tricks that I share in the book because I've lived it, right? So it's
Yeah.
not only lived experience, but it's also just practical experience from being a writer since I was 8 years old. Yes, there are things that you can do to really get over the mindset. But I think one of the most common things that I hear from business owners. They want to write that book. They're seeing their peers, get the speaking engagements, as seen on Fox and ABC and all the networks and things like that, and getting on all of the podcasts. And they're like, gosh, I want to do that, but I don't feel like I have enough experience. I haven't been in business long enough. The thing is that we all have experience that can help someone else. We may not be at the same level as the top person in our industry, but we're certainly not a beginner, right? And there's a wide range in between there. What do you know that you are able to turn around and teach someone else? What have you accomplished that you could turn around and help somebody walk through the steps to help them accomplish it too? Those are the types of things that people buy in books. When people buy nonfiction books, they're buying a solution. They have a problem and they want that solution. And maybe, especially if you feel like your industry is so huge, like let's say the diet and fitness industry, how many diet and fitness books and products and videos are there out there? And it's because people are still looking and searching for the answers. They have not
Mm.
found what works for them. So you may not necessarily, quote unquote, blow up and become, a global sensation or a national sensation, like let's say the South Beach Diet. That was a huge book like 15, 20 years ago. It may not be that situation, but you can still work with couple hundred, couple thousand people and really change their life because your solution works for them.
Yeah.
So you have to just think about who are the people that you're looking to help. They haven't heard it from you. They haven't related to you in the way that you are able to tell your story. So you have to think about there is an audience of people that are meant for you, that you are meant to serve. And that's who you need to really focus on. And I forgot the name of the guy who came up with the 1,000 true fans, but truly, if you sold 1,000 books and helped 1,000 people, that could be all you really need to give your business the boost that you're looking for. So I can keep talking about this forever. So I'm gonna hush. I'm gonna hush and let you go.
Oh, no, that was a good segue because I want to talk about the boost your business needs. I want to talk about why we would write a book other than to fulfill our deep childhood passion bucket list item that has always been on there. What I guess, who should write a book and what is the purpose of writing a book? Who would you recommend it for?
Well, I work with a lot of business owners, professionals who are looking to, go make the move from employee to entrepreneur, or employees who are in the managerial space and want to move up into the C-suite. People who are side hustlers, whatever, wherever you are. If you have something that you know that you can share, right? And you can build a whole brand, you can build a whole business around it, or you can use your book to help enhance what you're already doing. We're looking at the world of business and the world of employment kind of, I wouldn't say imploding. I don't want to be like a fear monger or anything, but it's definitely changing and shifting with AI. And employees are like, some employers are really pushing. You need to be using AI, otherwise you're going to be phased out. And then businesses are scaling, like small business owners, people like myself who are a solo business owner. They're scaling with AI technologies. But even in all of that, even as things are changing and shifting, there's still a huge need for humanity. There's still a huge need for a human voice. There's still a huge need for community. There's still a huge need for, I don't want to just, type something into ChatGPT and get a bland generic answer. I want to see, how did this actually work for someone, right? And I want to relate to the someone that's sharing this with me. And that's what a book can really do in this shifting, changing times of work and business and everything. A book helps your voice cut through the noise. And again, it doesn't have to be about you're going to blow up and get viral on TikTok. It doesn't have to be that you have to be at the absolute top of your industry. You just have to have a circle of influence that you're helping and that they help you. Right. So as people know who you are, what you do, and what you offer, they help to spread the word of who you are, what you do, and help to grow your business.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Just finding a way to connect with people still in the world that is so busy, and connect with the right people.
Exactly. The right people.
The right people.
Your book
That's great.
is not for everyone. Okay. You have a target audience for each book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so
If you're
funny.
trying to write for everybody, it's probably not going to be very good.
It, it's just not, going to hit, or you're going to have to do too much. So the other week I was working with a client and she had watched some of my videos and she's like, well, so we're talking about who's the target audience for your book. And she said, well, I know you said your book is not for everyone, but, and I was like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? You don't know what I'm about to say. But as she kept talking, she realized, she's like, oh yeah, no, it's not for everybody. It's for, I'm like,
I'll just wait for you to get there. That's great.
okay.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me, if someone is going to go in and write a book, let's say the first half of this interview, they were like, all right, I can do this. This is great. I'm going to go into it. What do they need to know before they bring in help? And then what is that help going to look like and take off of their plate so they know they're not doing it all alone?
So I'm just reaching over here because I literally just finished, and this is the black and white version, but I literally just finished redoing this product. It's called 4 Steps to Start Writing Your Book. And it lays out 4 very doable steps that you can take to start writing your book and start to figure out, what should your book be about? What type of book is it? What's going to be the content? How are we going to organize that content? So this gets you started and gives you a plan for getting finishing up your first draft. So I'll go ahead and run through the 4 steps. They sound simple, and they are simple. They are doable, but you gotta do
Do the
them.
work.
So you can get this in living color from my website at writingwithdeniserenee.com /4 steps, the number 4 and steps. So you can download the free version, or I really recommend that you get the full experience and get the and pay for the full digital product, because you get the workbook, ebook, which is this, and you also get an audio lesson where I really dive deeper. It's about like 2 hours or so. So we really dive deep, and so it's like having a coaching session with me without having to have a one-on-one session. But the 4 steps are: number one, you're going to start with the end in mind. Number two, you're going to determine the type of book that you're going to write. And of course, I break those down for you. Number three, you're going to brain dump your ideas. So a lot of times people are very afraid of, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm not a good writer. When I was in school, my my English teacher was always, here with the red pen, just like marking things up. What's nice about a brain dump is that there's no pressure. You're just getting your ideas out, and it's just an easy way to get started writing. And it becomes then a technique that you can use over and over in different phases of your writing. So you're going to brain dump and organize your ideas. And then number four, you're going to create a working title and a formal outline for your book. And then you're off to the races. You're ready to go. So those are 4 steps. I have content on my YouTube channel that, goes more into different aspects of it. So people can get started by going to youtube.com/ at writing with Denise Renee and start consuming content, because that's all I talk about.
Yeah, amazing. And then once they have that and they're ready to move forward, what do you do that they don't have to do, that they don't have to think about?
I think sometimes when people are really ready to invest in book writing coaching or in editing, some people are very self motivated, and they'll take the coaching that I offer, for free on YouTube, and or they'll invest in a low ticket offer, product like this, get started, and they're really self motivated, and they write that first draft, and then they may come to me and say, "Hey, Denise Renee, I'd love to see, where my draft is at. Is this ready for publication? Do I need more editing? What do I need?" And then they get an editorial assessment. And if they want me to do an editing for them, then we can take that from there. Or some people are like, "That's nice. You can have a cute little product, but I'm not going to do it. So I need to be handheld through the process."
Mhm.
I have different ways that I can work with people as they are doing their writing and being supportive to them. So either way, that's what I do. I help people to get started and finish writing their books.
Love it. That's great. Well, I think this really helped make it sound a lot easier. I feel like you gave a lot of clarification about how anybody can kind of move forward and create a book in a nice, easy format. And you have wonderful resources for that. So thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome.
No problem. I think also I want to mention something about using AI.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'm a big proponent of AI assisted content, not AI generated or AI written content. Nobody has the unique set of experiences that you have. Nobody has the unique voice and perspective that you have. Am I saying that you shouldn't use AI at all throughout your process? You could, but a lot of times I'm working with people who want to take their specific experiences and put it into a book. They want to take their specific know-how, things that they've developed, a system, a format, or something that they've created, and they want to put that in the book. So AI can't really help you with that. It may be able to help you with certain aspects and researching. Of course, there are editing tools that you can use that have AI in them. So, but basically, you are generating the content, and AI may be assisting with either additional resources or research, or with helping with editing. But I really work with people who are looking to take who they are and put it into a book. I'm not going to be the one who tells you, "Oh, give ChatGPT this prompt and let it write this book and then publish it." I think people can really spot those types of books. And I don't think that they have a lot of respect for 100%, an AI written book. I mean, I saw something, hey, I saw something on TikTok a couple weeks ago where a writer got called out for leaving the prompt in the book, and the
Oh,
prompt said, and this was in the fiction genre, but the prompt said, she put in the prompt, describe this scene like so and so author.
Oh
So asking,
no.
you're asking it to plagiarize somebody else. That's not cool. I mean, people,
No.
it doesn't make it right, doesn't make it cool. And again, it's where what we really want, she got a lot of backlash for that. And people don't like that, right? They want
Hmm.
to know that they're hearing from you, the author, right? If you're really authoring this, author it. And it's okay. Just, and it is, yes, it's scary to put yourself out there. There are going to people who, there will be people who love it. There will be people who hate it. And there will be people who are indifferent
Hmm.
about it. Find the people who love it and focus on them, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing that we've got to do in everything, in every area of life. So writing can be, especially if you're not in the habit of writing, yes, you have to develop a habit of writing, but it's not that difficult to do. I definitely share with people the best thing you can do is to write in small little chunks every single day. I like to promote RTGs, really set a really tiny goal. And writing a little bit every day is going to be more productive than trying to be like, okay, I'm going to take the whole weekend off and shut off my phone and I'm going to write for 8 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That never happens. That doesn't
Yeah.
even happen to me. That doesn't happen, right? That's unrealistic. So
Hmm.
it's very doable doing your own writing, but yes, use your own voice, and let AI just be, a co-pilot. Just do not put it in the pilot seat. That's all I ask. And again,
Yeah.
writing your own book, you can get something to market in 3 to 4 months if you're really focused on it. So,
Yeah. That's great advice. I think that's great advice for writing a book and for all content creation. If you're really going to connect with your people, you need to be you, and that's what connects. So great side note. Thanks. Thanks so much, Denise Renee. Thanks for being here.
not a problem. Thank you for having me.